apocalypse. The storm is closing in on you. Stay in the eye.
Dwell to me. Okay, TV harmony.
I need a great amount of data, so I've sent multiple teams to your area. The team who returns with the most data will be rewarded.
Good. Useless bastard! Why are you avoiding the fight, cunt? Ah!
Final life activated. Go out there and give it your all. Or die.
Come on. Guess we have to get the most data to win this. Fucking idiot. Why do you think we're going, you dick? Asshole. Something clear. not working.
The storm is closing in on you. Stay in the eye. I've located more objectives. Keep checking your marks for their location.
Ah! Where the fuck is this guy? Like, seriously, dude. Do you not understand this fucking game works?
High-value target eliminated.
Look at that time.
You've been
You can't fucking play for shit anyway. I'm hitting up targets, which is absolutely necessary to fucking do anything, and he's just faffing about. Very helpful. Dumbass.
Of course, if God exists, then theism would be true. And if someone lacks belief in that God, then atheism would be true.
Yeah, it's true. Both would be true. It's a reductio ad absurdum position of that redefinition.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to understand how ridiculous they sound right now because they just simply don't understand this conversation. And I really don't think that they should be trying to tell people about what atheists believe or don't believe while not understanding the conversation that they're even having. What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? Oh shit, I almost dropped my beer. Luckily, it's not open yet. So tonight, though, we are going to be taking a look at a video where a couple of creationists sit down and basically try to explain atheism. Now, I don't know if it's necessarily for atheists or if it's for religious people that just apparently have never heard of atheists or something like that. I don't know. I'm sure all of the Skeptic Mafia members can tell you that it's pretty dumb as fuck video with these two clueless creationists trying to talk shit about atheism.
What is atheism? A lack of a belief in God, or
Yes.
belief that no God exists?
No,
This
lack
is a bit
of
of false
belief in
dichotomy
God.
starting right off the bat. So kudos to you for getting it wrong right out the gate. Lack of faith could be a possible definition that people use. Really, it's just a non-belief in a deity. It's just simply not believing in your bullshit claims. Now, there are hard atheists or Gnostic atheists that go the extra mile and say that God definitely doesn't exist. And that's fine. I don't feel like I have any kind of good argument to support that particular position. That's why I go the more agnostic atheist route, and I say that I don't know whether or not a God exists, but I just don't believe in a God. I kind of feel like the way that you painted it is a bit black and white, and so it kind of seems like you're committing a false dichotomy fallacy right out the gate.
Hi there, I'm Keaton Halley, and joining me today on the program is Dr. Jonathan Sarfati.
G'day, everyone.
Let's talk about this question of the definition of atheism. In the last, I think it's maybe a decade or so, a lot of atheists have been part of a movement to sort of redefine the term. Why don't you tell us historically what has it meant and what's the definition that they're now giving?
Like, you can go to philosophical dictionaries of not that long ago, and they would say that atheism affirms the non-existence of God. It's an active disbelief in God, active belief in God's non-existence. But now you got some revisionism going on saying that atheism is just a lack of belief in God. That's quite a big difference.
It's not revisionism. I feel like this is yet another fallacy. You know, what I really need to do up on my stream deck is a fallacy counter. This is not revisionist history whatsoever. This would be like a fallacy of tradition or an appeal to tradition. He's saying traditionally when people talk about atheism, they're talking about the positive claim that God does not exist, or God or gods. What he's appealing to is a very old definition or a very old understanding of this entire conversation. To suggest that the conversation is not going to evolve over time, or people aren't going to come into different ways to view atheism on the whole, it's just fallacious as fuck, because that's not how our language works. That's not how anything has ever worked. Being a Christian has changed a lot over time. So to say, oh, I'm a Christian now means something drastically different than it did 1,000 years ago. So to suggest that these terms have to stay in these very strict definitions is just wrong, and it's definitely the wrong way to go about arguing your point here. And I wouldn't say that presently it's just a lack of belief. There's a lot more nuance to the subject of atheism in general. Some people see it as just a lack of belief in a god. Other people see it as a non-belief in a deity figure, or deity or deities. Some people take the more Gnostic route of asserting that God doesn't exist. Even the nuanced situation of getting into specific definitions of God, because while I'm an agnostic atheist on the deity question in general, I'm very Gnostic about particular definitions, like Yahweh or Allah or any definition of God that we currently have. I would say that I'm Gnostic about those particular gods, or I'm a hard atheist about those gods. I definitely can assert that those gods do not exist, and I can support my positive claim that they don't exist with evidence. The way that they're framing this right out the gate is just totally ignoring the nuances of the conversation. And so they're starting out on a bad foot, and they're trying to lead people down a very particular path in which they've constructed this narrative around.
Why do you think the reason for the change?
Because they kept on losing arguments. Well, I mean, the thing is, if it's the usual definition, then the burden of proof is on them to show their conclusion is right. But if they just say it's a lack of belief, then they try to shift the burden of proof onto us to give positive evidence, while they don't have to give any evidence for their own position.
As far as atheism goes, I don't have to give any kind of evidence for your God's non-existence. You are the one making the positive claim, thus making you the one that has to show how your God definitely does exist, preferably with evidence, not necessarily arguments, but just give me good evidence to suggest that a God does exist. And that just gets you to this ambiguous God deity. It doesn't actually get you to your specific definition of God. The neutral position is a secular position where you have no concern about whether or not God exists. And then if you want to assert that a God exists, you have to provide evidence for it. So you stay in this secular position, or this very atheistic position of just not believing in a God, having a non-belief in a deity. We've never had the burden of proof, at least in the modern version of this conversation. Now, I can't really speak to whether or not atheists in the past kept losing arguments, but considering that you're creationists and you think that atheists lose the argument every single time, no matter what, just because they are atheists, doesn't really seem to matter whether or not they previously lost all of their arguments, because according to you, we are still losing the argument. So that just seems like a non-point, kind of like just a personal jab at atheists there. Kind of petty, if you ask me. Casey said,
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. That it seems almost like a cheap move, a shifting of the goalpost to avoid having to actually give reasons.
I need a res,
for
dude.
The view that they hold, which of course many of them do believe that God doesn't exist. This is why
Team
they
Kane, I need a
argue
res,
that way
dude.
in debates and write books on
Amigo, I need a res.
well, hold on. We have to be very
They're
specific
backed off
here,
the hub.
because I would hazard to guess that most atheists are saying that your particular God doesn't exist. Most of the time when these conversations happen, we're not talking about this ambiguous God figure, right? This ambiguous deity. We're talking about specific definitions. Whenever like an atheist and a Christian are discussing whether or not God exists, it's never really the question of whether or not an ambiguous God deity exists, like just in general. It's always a very specific definition. So I feel like without specifying that you're talking about just a supernatural deity, then we're more or less going to be on the playing field of specific definitions. Most atheists would say, I don't believe in a God because he hasn't been proven to exist, and I don't know whether or not a God does exist. He could exist, he could not exist. We just simply don't know, but I don't believe he does. It's a you have to understand the nuances of this conversation. If you leave them out when you're talking about it in this kind of fashion, it makes it seem like you're purposefully leading people down a specific path you've already crafted a narrative.
Yeah, there's a lot of trouble to go to just for a lack of belief. I mean, I have to give reasons for my lack of belief in Santa Claus or green cheese on the moon or whatever it is. I mean, and the thing is, I mean, they used to talk about agnosticism, which is I don't know, or strong agnosticism, which is no one can know, which is what T.H. Huxley, Darwin's bulldog, invented that term, and that's how he meant to use it.
Yeah, so
now,
there was already a term in existence for somebody who lacked belief in God. Agnosticism better fits that bill.
Right.
Whereas now it's almost like we don't have a word for someone who denies God's existence.
Oh, I can think of words like...
We haven't replaced agnosticism. I like how they're talking about knowledge and belief as if they're the same thing. Knowledge should inform your beliefs, but they are different things to talk about. So when I say I don't believe in a God, that doesn't mean that I know that a God doesn't exist, or that I'm making some kind of positive claim that he doesn't exist. I'm just saying that I don't believe in a God. And I would also classify agnostics as being in the atheist category, just myself personally, although I'm not going to force that label on anybody. Agnostics themselves don't believe in a God. I would say that puts them in the atheist category, but that's why I don both of the labels, agnostic, atheist, because specifically my position is I don't know whether or not a God exists, but I don't believe that he does. Agnostic, atheist, that label perfectly describes my position on God in general. To say that agnostic is just somebody that lacks a belief in it, it's just misapplying the label. Talking about the pure agnostic position is somebody that just doesn't know what they believe. At least that's how it seems to be colloquially used. In general, you can be agnostic about anything. Agnostic just speaks about your knowledge about a subject. Do I know that a God exists? No. Do I know that a meteorite's not going to destroy my apartment? I don't know that it won't, but I don't believe that that will happen. So you have to understand the nuances between knowledge and belief, and these guys seem to be confusing the two.
Anti-theist, someone who's actually against the idea of theism, that's anti-theism, or I'd actually say misotheism. I wasn't the one who invented that, unfortunately. I just think of it independently.
What does that one mean?
That means God hatred.
Okay.
God haters. I've also used the word atheopath, a pathological promotion of atheism and hatred of theism.
If you hate God, then you're not an atheist, because atheists don't hate God because we don't believe in a God to hate. You know, I mean, it just doesn't make sense to say that atheists are misotheists or anything like that. There are misotheists out there, somebody that actively hates God. I would doubt that they would say that they're atheists. I don't know any, so maybe I'm wrong. I've looked up atheopath to see if it's an actual word. It's not. It's not in a dictionary or anything like that, which doesn't mean that it can't be, I guess, created and put into a dictionary. But the only places that I've seen atheopath published at, like on the internet, the only place you can find atheopath is on creationist websites who are trying to portray atheists, at least the atheists that are very vocal about not believing in a God and fight against creationists, as well as religious people that want to push their agenda through the government or any other kind of way. Those are atheopaths to them. People that pathologically don't believe in a God, tell everybody about it, and fight against them and their crazy batshit insane ideas. But it kind of seems to me like whoever this is has not actually researched this topic area, because I mean, he would have come into agnostic, gnostic, or hard and soft, because there's both of those flavors of theist and atheist exist. When I was figuring out what I did or didn't believe, one of the first things that I came across was gnostic and agnostic, hard and soft atheism. I would say that most Christians fall in the Gnostic or hard theist category, while most atheists seem to fall in the soft or agnostic atheist column. I don't know why he's making up terms in order to try to classify atheists as agnostic or gnostic. We've already got labels for this. You don't need to make up bullshit words.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so
well,
you
fair
can
enough.
use
But
words.
of course, most atheists wouldn't describe themselves in that way. So, although I have heard some use the term anti-theist of themselves.
I think Lawrence Krauss is one of those, the cosmologist, cosmogonist. Yeah, I think he says he's an anti-theist, but it's the atheist's own fault for trying to redefine when they're losing, and therefore what choice we have but to try and define, what choice we have but to try and find a word that describes what we're dealing with.
Yeah, good point.
You know, I could say the same bullshit about Christians. Trying to juggle all of the different denominations and what you do and do not believe are required to get into heaven is just fucking frustrating. If I have to learn the 62,000 different denominations that make up Christianity, I'm sure that you can bear to understand the 3 or 4 different types of atheists that exist.
Well, it seems to me that if you abandon the traditional definition of atheism, then you've got this problem where, ironically, almost theism and atheism could both be true at the same time.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? Goodness.
Because the new definition doesn't refer to belief in God per se, but just to the sort of psychological state of the so-called atheist.
You have to understand how ridiculous you sound right now. Yes, how most atheists use the label atheism or atheist just refers to what they do or do not believe. This would be the same case as anybody else that's used a label in a similar manner. We're not using the label to indicate what is true about reality. We're using the label to describe us, what we believe. The fact that they don't grasp what the label is actually doing is astonishing itself.
So what I mean,
belief. There could be a God, but I just lack belief in this God.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So, of course, if God exists, then theism would be true, and if
I mean,
someone lacks belief in that God, then atheism would
That'd
be
be
true.
too right,
That's
dude.
very
It
close
seems
to be
pop
true.
up
It's an
radar.
accurate ad absurdum position of that redefinition.
Careful, I don't know exactly where he is. It's seen him ping up in the radar. Back off, back off, back off.
Teammate down. Teammate killed. You'll do well to preserve your teammate's life. I will send you another shortly. Take care of this one.
They're up here. Crafting an item. Wow. Crafting complete. Outlander down.
Team eliminated at boss objective.
Fedora has been down. Hope this grenade hits! I'll have this item crafted in a moment. This is where we must go. That was worth it.
Even more high-value objectives on your map. But it's true. High-value targets eliminated. High-value targets eliminated.
This way's ideal.
High-value objective activated. High-value objective done and dusted. That's an idiom.
Stop that. If I take any more hits, I don't know. Healing my wounds.
Done. Ah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't really understand what in the fuck they just said. It just kind of seemed like a whole bunch of fucking word salad because they just simply don't understand this conversation. And I really don't think that they should be trying to tell people about what atheists believe or don't believe while not understanding the conversation that they're even having.
The atheists have to make certain assumptions. They have certain propositions they have to believe. They have to believe that something can come into existence from nothing.
Yeah.
They got no proof or evidence or even any evidence that's a rational position to hold that something can come from nothing uncaused, because if it doesn't exist, it can't cause anything. So nothing can't do anything. It can't cause anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a common thing. Apologists like this will often extend atheism into subject areas that atheism is just simply not concerned with. Atheism and theism, for that matter, are only concerned with whether or not you believe in a god. It has nothing to do with the beginning of the universe. But just because you don't understand our argument for what happened at the beginning of the universe, it doesn't mean anything for atheism in general, because atheism is just talking about what a person doesn't believe. But just because this guy doesn't understand that the scientific explanation for the inflation of the universe being that a quantum scalar field went from a false vacuum state to a true vacuum state, and that in turn released an immense amount of energy which caused the universe to inflate near instantaneously and continue inflating after that. The energy that filled this little bubble, if you will, it eventually transformed into a kind of energy that would eventually turn into the matter that we have today. Just because he doesn't understand that does not automatically mean that his God exists, or that a God in general exists. That's besides the point of whether or not this relates to atheism, because it doesn't.
And I think what you're saying basically is that although atheists are now claiming that they merely lack belief, they actually do positively affirm a number of propositions about how the universe and living things came to be and so forth.
They have no evidence for the idea that life came from non-living chemicals. That's the topic of another podcast. But no evidence whatsoever. In fact, the evidence is very much against it, but they have to believe it because of their belief system. That's a positive thing they have to believe, right?
No, it's not a positive thing that you have to believe. In fact, you can be a theistic evolutionist. You can definitely be that. I feel like here he's conflating abiogenesis with evolution, though, because they're creation ministry, so obviously they're going to disregard evolution in general. But again, none of this has any kind of bearing on atheism. In this particular section, they talked about how atheists make a number of claims about things. This is completely separate from the question of whether or not God exists. While we do have a scientific explanation for the inflation of the universe, that does not say anything about whether or not a God exists. God could have been the one that bumped the quantum scalar field with his tiny dick and shoved it into the true vacuum state. He probably grew the glory just for us, honey. The glory of his cock. He nudged it forward with the tip of his dick, just the tip. And he could have created the entire, universe that way. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what caused this quantum scalar field to fluctuate. As far as I can tell in quantum mechanics, you don't necessarily need a cause for it to happen. But ultimately, I don't know. So me being able to explain the inflation of the universe to you does not say anything about whether or not a God exists. What it does say is something about whether or not your particular definition exists. And that would be an argument that I would bring up to show you.
Sorry, dude?
I don't play anymore.
That one seems very hard to beat. That one Shiver Me Timbers plays with somebody that's a leaderboard guy. Can't remember.
Yeah, I usually play with little bullet people, but now I don't because I kind of hate this game now. It's
Right.
dead.
Why? Oh, because I kill you. We'll kill them. Don't worry. I think I'm friends with you. I'm normally Scuba Link.
This game is dead. It's so sad.
I still like it. I don't know. It's gotten crazy though.
Why did you choose Koopa Link?
Yeah,
Isn't
no,
that
it's,
your other account?
yeah. I didn't get it all the way done, and it takes so long to level up. So I started a new account on Steam because my Epic account it kept making me mad.
Yeah, the Epic has so many problems.
Yeah, this one's on Steam and it seems to be running good. It's just I don't know. I get mad and play Call of Duty Cold War multiplayer sometimes for like a week or two.
I haven't played Call of Duty in a long time.
I used to play it all the time.
Yeah,
But,
same. Before I played on mouse and keyboard.
Right. It's dude, I love it. I like it even better on mouse. It sucks at first, but
I still suck with mouse and keyboard.
oh, dude, I've been doing it for about a year now, I think,
Crafting gear.
and it's hard. I can't type well.
Yeah, same. I don't know why. I still
don't
can't
either.
play it
The people-
properly.
Yeah, the people I play with, they'll be fighting a team and then typing to me at the same time. I'm like, the hell?
Good to go.
But those aim bots, people do that on Call of Duty really bad too. Like, I think even worse. It's like worse.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh,
Oh shit. He's got an extra life, so I think. What the hell?
a fresh killed them. I think it's a her because I heard her on
No, it's a
Let's
hay.
Play stream.
I got fucking swarmed.
Hi, I thought you were the girl. I watched you on someone's stream.
I know, Gaming. How's you doing?
That's cool. I didn't even know it was a TV people. But,
Yeah, no, I usually play Tarkov, but Tarkov is not wiped no Sunday, and I need something else to play as well, so I thought I'd give this one a try.
right. Oh, this game's cool, man. I like it. It gets very intense.
I keep getting bad teams though. Literally all I need to win the game for my team is just for them to be ahead and let me snipe the cunts.
Right.
Your team is in the lead. Final life.
Because like in most shooters, once the enemy ADSs, they're pretty much dead to rights against a sniper.
I'll have this item
I just crafted my blue weapon instead of my armor like an idiot.
Your team is in the lead.
My kids in there yelling.
The storm is closing in on you. Stay in the
Oh,
eye.
shit.
I've located more objectives. Keep checking your mark for their locations.
Yeah, I think Parmesan unfriended me the other day, me and this other guy, because we lost. I swear. I don't know if that's, not sure if that's true, but I think so. I was like, that's kind of weird, people.
Which guy?
I didn't even do nothing stupid. Normally I do, but not that time.
You get some people who are just that competitive. It's like, I lost, so fuck
Right,
everything.
I don't know. He's the one sending me invites all the time. I don't know why. I don't care if I don't play with him. You know what I mean?
absolutely worth the risk.
He has to be using an aimbot or something, though, man. I'm telling you, if you get in a fight with him and Till Lindman, like they're like headshots you. Like no matter like any part of skin sticks out, you're screwed. That's not fair. This blue striker was great for that crap.
Analyzing group.
I've got to hide and go check the killer. Or I'm just here.
Out of here, cold. We will find success here. Data point successfully harvested.
Do this shit. Oh, let's do this shit.
Got to go fix his teeth.
That's my shield upgraded. I've unlocked new crafting schematics. Check with your keeper.
This gear will be very useful.
Whee!
A team has been eliminated.
They got some cool skins. You need to get that the lady astronaut suit. It's so funny looking.
It
It's
looks
cool,
silly
like
on
it's-
her.
She walks like she's on the moon anyway, and that suit looks awesome. Somebody on Discord was talking about it, and I was like, I started thinking about it, and I was like, it is cool. Then they put it back on there. Too much money though, really.
Yeah, getting the chips is just.
Yeah, it's,
I'm
too lazy for that.
To be fair, that's the thing with free play games though. Like, I appreciate though that I do like the fact that there's no pay to win so far in this that I can see. Definitely pay for convenience, but a free play game like how else is it meant to make money?
right.
Oh, delicious.
These games are probably free because I leave a gaming computer running all day. It costs like a lot of money, really, if you think about it. It's like my power. I need to look and adjust my computer. Really, it pulls too much power. Like they probably think I'm growing weed in here.
Depending where you are, I don't care.
Right. They do here. They care here right now, anyway. They shouldn't. Man, the blue strike rifle is great for the Outlanders. And the reflector shield I'm wearing, like the whatever it's called, is great for.
Oh, someone's coming. Someone's coming.
I thought I was being shot by something. I don't know if they are. Yeah, they are.
By those rocks. Behind those trees. Is that a collie?
Yeah,
I heard a collie.
I seen the snow
Ah.
moving around. Man,
Yeah, she's on me, but I can't see her.
She's on me. She's behind the tent, behind the tent, behind the tent.
Oh god.
Shit, I gotta run.
One is coming, throwing grenades. Get away, get away.
They're gonna get me. I don't know what's gonna turn them.
Just slide down the way if you can.
Ah, no.
GG's.
Next time. I should have just fought right then. I don't know.
You've been eliminated. What a pity.
Oh.
Well, good plan, we all.
Why did it not slide away?
That your particular god doesn't exist.
Exactly. It opens them up then to the criticisms that creationists and others make of their worldview commitments.
And it is a worldview commitment. That's makes no mistake about that.
Yeah.
Atheism is not a worldview. I'm just saying, it's a description of what you don't believe. And I could say that I'm a Bigfootist. If there were, which there are romantic novels about Bigfoot, but if there was a religion devoted to Bigfoot where its adherents numbered in the millions and it was seen as weird not to believe in Bigfoot, I would definitely brandish the title a Bigfootist, or fairies, or leprechauns, or Loch Ness Monster. If you have societies that are primarily centered around whether or not a god exists, then there needs to be a label to describe people that don't do that. It's not that it's a worldview, it's that it's a label for somebody that doesn't believe your bullshit. And that's it. It says nothing else about the rest of reality. Really appreciate you guys, but if you will, leave a like on this video. Just go ahead and smash that like button, and be sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Like I said, appreciate you guys being here. Leave me a comment too. Oh, that's what I meant to say. Leave me a comment. That really helps me out in the algorithm. And otherwise, I guess I'll see you heathens later. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice.
Horst.
And there we go. There we have it. As someone who shot into a lot of dirt in his day, that was a 9mm impact. What is up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers, and welcome back to another episode of the Darwin Awards. One of my most loved series by you guys, and easily one of the most hated by YouTube. I'm your host, Brandon Herrera, and as we all know, guns are awesome. Idiots, not so much. When you put the two of those things together, sometimes you get a candidate for a Darwin Award. Darwin Award, of course, is the fictional award you get for removing yourself from the gene pool and continuing to help evolution. Now, the primary purpose of these videos is to try to be educational. Yes, I'm going to be making some dark jokes. The idea is to give you guys, especially some of you newer gun owners out there, some real-world practical examples of when shit goes kind of sideways when people didn't follow the basic rules of gun safety. So that in mind, let's break into our first clip. We start this video in the most logical place I could think of. It's Russia. So we have our Russian friend here who appears to be armed with a Nagant revolver. Cutting right to the chase, I don't approve of what he's about to do with it. This dude is like everybody I get in a gunfight with in Tarkov. So yeah, we have our homeboy here who's wearing an Alton helmet, which is one of the very heavy-duty ballistic Russian military helmets with the visor. And yeah, they put it to the test. I believe it goes without saying, don't try this at home. This is pretty fucking stupid. One of the basic rules of gun safety says never point a weapon at anything you're not willing to destroy. That also includes your friend. And for our purposes, I don't really think that changes if there's body armor in the equation. I want to say this is fake, though. There's a couple things that make me think that. For one, watch the recoil. Now, the recoil is a little too much, I think, for that pistol. And you can see it comes after. It comes after he pulls the trigger. I think he shoots a blank here. Because we also don't see the helmet beforehand. If I had to guess, I think they probably shot the helmet first and then staged.
I'm reading a storm surrounding this region. Go carefully.
Another job. What's this? Oh. Wow.
I need more data on the Scourge. Visit the sites I've noted on your map and collect any information you find.
Another Outlander bites it.
great amount of data, so I've sent multiple teams to your area. The team who returns with the most data will be rewarded.
Hey, watch the face! Hey, watch the face! Outlander done.
Wanna eat me, fuckers? Eat me. Nope. Bad doggy. Yeah. I guess. Fuck you. Why? It's
Marvin Devine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about a private conversation.
you.
Making
Is that machine gun?
You've done well. I'm enabling further crafting
Yep.
options.
Oh, where's your look? Smack that up.
Moving it this way just feels good to me, you know? All set. That's a fine looking weapon if I
No,
do say
I
so
must
myself.
should have got the fucking thing. Oh well. That's gonna bite me in the ass. Dum, dum, dum. Dum, 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 dum.
Damn, that's sick. Get my gear on. AR here, gang. Grab him on top.
Gotcha, bitch. Let's pop that on. Never know you're gonna need a bit of extra hate in this thing. Gotcha, bitch. Okay. That works.
That's a sweet ass item.
Where the fuck is he? Checking out this Ponzi ass bitch. There you are. Oh. See, this is what happens when you fuck up people you shouldn't. You die. Alright. Oh, I got, okay.
Dawn is closing in on you. Stay in the eye.
Let's fucking get moving.
Check your map and highlight the conditions.
Do I got a Russian?
Explored.
Think so. But it's a European server, actually, yeah, so it would be in that.
Bam! Ha! There it's that.
I had a Russian guy in it, so I've had one other Russian so far. Is that popular in Russia? Come on, bitch. Fuck you. I can subscribe. I fully expect some other cunts to show up anytime now. So we're gonna take that tag off. Like, we hit the orphanage, so I'm not worried about something coming from that. Guys, we just fucking hit the thing. And then we need to go to there, I guess. Yeah, that works. That's it, Joe. Superhero. Superhero.
Hang on a minute. Upgrading gear.
Let's get the fuck out of here. Scrub. Scrub we can. Scrap is wealth. Power. Theoretically speaking. Yeah, we need to get that.
Shield upgrade.
Let's go.
Shield performance improved.
No, that's fuck you. Talking about the last fucking camp. Awkward cunts. Scrap, scrap, scrap. Get all the scrap we can. Because we'll need it later.
I see it.
I feel like you'll want maxed out shields big time. Alright, shit's gonna go real wrong real fucking fast. Do I have any enemies on me?
Teammate down.
Fuck!
Evacuation cross in
How the hell? How the fuck did that hit me so hard? Fucking doomed the cunt! Ah! You're not gonna do this. Fuck! I forgot about that damn turret. Why did you not kill that turret on the way in, fuckers? Ah, no, the guy's AFK. Beautiful. No, Bradley, that'll spit my death. Alright, wasn't me spawn him. Let's watch some Darwin Awards.
This video, because look at his reaction.
Because who doesn't have a good gun feel?
Yeah, you see that little distortion on the helmet there, the bullet impact mark? If this is a higher quality video, I think that's it right there on the right side. So Russians can be fucking crazy, but apparently these ones aren't that crazy. I hope, anyway. It's very possible that this is real and they're just idiots. Also, it's funny I made a Tarkov joke a second ago, because this totally looks like customs. Also, if you got that reference and you're a fan of Escape from Tarkov, or you just like Russian guns in general, you might want to go ahead and subscribe. We do that.
3 odd seconds.
Speaking of almost taking a bullet to the noggin, let's move on to the next clip. We can't actually use the original TikTok music for this, so Lance just, I guess, put the Star Wars blaster effect over this. Oh, fuck.
Ooh.
Let's watch that again.
Yeah.
So what this young man has just done is accidentally basically bump fired a revolver by trying to retain control of the gun, trying to, keep down the recoil of something that frankly he was just not prepared to handle. He accidentally
You have no lives remaining. Good luck.
get dangerous.
If you check your map, you'll see my scans have revealed the location of new, high-value objectives. I would like them.
Hell is that guy doing? I don't get what he's doing.
I see it. Sending in an evac craft. I've dropped a supply capsule your way. Should be drifting down momentarily.
Reloading my weapon.
Come on. Oh. Fuck, that's dumb. Get him! There we go.
Big one's down.
Enemy in here, enemy! Enemy inside.
Good stuff. Alright, heal up, gang.
Dying, bitch.
Cruise down.
Teammate down.
Can I get you up like dying? I can do. Love it, lovely.
Crafting schematics through your keeper.
I need more scrap.
Crafting, 1 second.
Let's go for that
Going
cunt.
this way.
Yeah, I have the level, I just don't have the fucking scrap for it. Which is a bit annoying. Yep, got scrap here. I think. A little bit of scrap. Not very much.
High-value target eliminated.
That guy gone?
And we're out.
There's up. This guy's not eliminated yet, which makes me think. Don't know what makes me think. Oh. Careful, may have someone coming from behind us. on, break that fucking helmet.
That is tasty.
Very high value is added to your map. Very.
Sounds like a job. Fuck all scrap, but
Nice work. Really thought that one would kill you.
okay, we're getting tight here, so we need
That's
that
a
one.
total party kill as a big boss.
Although I suspect we're gonna have company at this stage. Why are there so little scrap? I don't get it.
High value objective engaged.
Oh. Enemies coming in. Out to the left. I don't know where it went, but I seen an enemy run past the front of this fucking building. Team. Enemy team, guys. Fuck's sake. Where the fuck are you useless cunts? Where's the backup? Oh, hire people this shit.
Accidentally put enough pressure on the trigger to squeeze off a second round. It just so happened in that second round, the gun barrel was not pointed downrange, but instead rather almost the complete 180 of that. Homeboy was about 30 degrees from making a serious fucky wucky and having to get into the forever box. The reason this is possible, and unfortunately I don't have a double action revolver around here to demonstrate with. Got some of these though. On a single action revolver, you have to manually pull the hammer back in order to be able to pull the trigger and fire a round. And just so you know, this is completely unloaded. So when I have the hammer forward and I pull the trigger, absolutely nothing happens, because the only thing that the trigger does on a single action weapon like this is allow you to drop the hammer. On a double action revolver, you have a stiffer trigger pull with the hammer down, but what that does is it has a mechanism inside that also, by pulling that heavier trigger pull, will cock the hammer as you pull the trigger, and then, of course, let off so you can fire another round. Unfortunately, if you stick a very man-sized caliber into the hands of a 100-pound individual like this, that can also lead to serious accidents. Pretty sure we've shown stuff like this on the channel before. If you want to shoot a caliber of weapon that you can't handle, especially a handgun, I don't recommend it, but if you're going to do it, please only load the gun with one bullet. In fact, that's good advice in general. If you're letting somebody shoot something for the first time and you're not really comfortable with where they're at gun-wise, always load one round to kind of feel them out. If you feel like someone's a little inexperienced, there is no reason to hand them a full magazine. That way you can avoid shit like this. I know what you're thinking already. Brandon, you're that many minutes in and nobody's actually gotten shot yet. All right. I'm getting there. Calm your weird violence boners. Oh yeah, you already know this next one's gonna end super well. So Homeboy is showing his significant other and or, you know, maybe hopeful soon-to-be significant other how to shoot a handgun. Nothing super obviously wrong right off the bat. They're a little close together. Considering his arms are a lot longer than hers, that can be a bad thing. So he has some sort of malfunction, I guess? I'm not really sure. But she's already backing away. She's sketched out. I wonder what sketchy shit he's done earlier today. And there we go. There we have it. Just like the last Darwin Awards, the first one we have is somebody taking a bullet is reholstering. At a somewhat aggressive angle, too. Oh, fuck. I want you to see either way the impact it makes on the dirt. It is very visible under his foot. As someone who shot into a lot of dirt in his day, that was a 9mm impact. But yeah, shit like this happens, man. You gotta be paying attention to what you're doing when you're reholstering. Some people aren't thinking, they're in a rush, they leave their finger on the trigger, they reholster, it engages the trigger. It could be something as easy as getting snagged on a piece of clothing. You just have to pay attention. I'm not necessarily saying that's what happened here, but I am wondering if Homeboy was a little too preoccupied with what he was planning on doing with his other gun to focus on the one he had in his hand. Also, I'm really wondering what this lady says as soon as it happens. Alright, so let's check this one out real quick. When your shitbox won't start and you have had enough. Damn. You know, this one was sent to me as a Darwin Award, but it's definitely not, but I do kind of feel it. I don't condone this kind of behavior, but I feel you, bro. So next up, we have kind of an interesting new twist for the Darwin Awards, but before we get to that, we have probably the funniest choice of sponsor for this video in particular that I could possibly think of. See, years ago now, called Point Gun at Venus, where you pointed a gun at your penis. I'm assuming this was to get around the censors, of course. This kind of behavior isn't exactly condoned by most social media sites, but this was a completely stupid.
Another day, another challenge. I love the post-apocalypse.
Okay, let's get some scrap. This shit. They are engaging someone.
Picking up readings of a storm on the edges of your map. I'm sure you'll
They cannot already be engaging someone, surely.
This way is ideal.
Two in one here yet. Some more of anyway.
Locations recorded on your map
If I turn the settings on this thing or something, it seems very quiet. Oh, I did. Okay. Why did I turn it down? Probably couldn't hear the voice comms or something.
Many of your brothers and sisters will compete with you to acquire my data. This may cause some conflict. Be ready.
Outlanders taken care of. Reloading now.
Good job.
Remember our hits.
Where the fuck is our backup? Careful, stealth bitches over here.
Can never get to war.
Where the fuck did she come out of? She's behind the wall, dude. She's behind the wall to your right. Careful.
Check your Keeper, then you craft
Alright,
new
brother.
formulas.
Ayo. You live.
Speaking again.
You live. In that case, you come on scavengers because I'm kind
No,
of
mate,
bothered with
I have-
Tarkov
it's
until
basically
fucking.
a new computer, so I only have Tarkov.
Okay, get your thing downloaded then, because I'm not really bothered with Tarkov to wipe. I don't see the point now because the wipe's like so many days away, and all the maps are probably going fucking mental right now.
I know, but I want to practice. I want to be ready for
practice-
next week.
Practice what, dude? The inertia and shit's coming in. The game's literally not going to play the same.
Fuck.
Yeah, like it's actually just not going to play the same. Like I'm looking forward to it,
Hate
but
this game.
the fact is, it's just not going to play the same. And that's assuming the inertia actually works from the get-go. This is Tarkov. No big patch ever works probably from the fucking get-go.
Definitely not.
It'd be nice if it did, but you know.
Yes, unlikely.
I found the character I want to unlock, and also hate going against already in this game. Unsurprisingly, it's the rat bastard character. We fucking active camo bitch.
Tarkov is so fast. Holy shit. Everything just like loads instantly. Ah, I'm so happy.
What went wrong anyway? Just your card burn out or something?
No, I think it was probably a fault with the motherboard. Basically, he's been having a problem for ages that he'd boot and he wouldn't pick up the SSD.
Lovely.
And normally it can be solved by just power cycling him a couple of times. But it didn't solve itself the other day. And as I said, I've got like a week bucked off to play games. Which is the first time I've ever done anything like that in my life, so there's no way that my computer's gonna fail on me. So I narrowed it down to what I think was the motherboard, and at that point it was a new motherboard, new CPU, new PSU. My graphics card's really good, so I kept that. It's got new memory in it now, so it's DDR4 from DDR3. 32 gig in there as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mate,
you only need
it's better
16.
fucking-
The big thing is that you only need 16 gig at maximum for like any game.
Yeah,
But that's 16 gig max, absolute maximum for any game, assuming it has been optimized to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Which Tarkov has not. Like, just, you know, not even close to fucking being optimized to be useful at that rate. Start down them scavengers then. I need someone to play this with. I keep getting shit teams. But I said, I've had like 2 decent teams, but that's mostly because I let them quite ahead. And then I basically just stood back with my sniper rifle and head top 3 fucks in the head. Literally wiped out the entire enemy team and won the match for us just by wiping out the entire enemy team.
If you go down, I'll get you back up again. Probably.
There's actually a card in this you probably like.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a shotgun bitch. And her special thing, or like her ability, is she puts like a bubble around her in like a certain area. Incidentally, the area it takes up is perfect shotgun range. Yeah. She basically traps you in a cage with her, and then fucks you. And
That's great.
Not in the way you like. So. And then there's like 2 sniper classes. It's actually really well set up.
Don't let me down.
Yeah, even as melee weapons, not like fucking use them, because that means getting close to fuckers. That's crazy talk. because we both know me, and I want them dead from as far away from the fuckers as I can get.
This is where we must go.
You know, like an honorable fighter. I've actually had a few rounds where like my team's won the round, but literally just because the environment has killed everyone. Because like you get the whole point is you collect data. It's just like a resource on the map. That's all it is. And you collect scrap to build shit, and whoever gets the most data by the time the match ends is the winner. So you have two options of winning: either get the most data, three options to win. Either get the most data, kill other teams and take their data, or hope other teams go for the really hard shit and die to it. You can win through either method, and I've won a few times now because they've went for the other teams. I've went for like the hardest targets and got absolutely fucking raped. But there's definitely some tactical stuff you can, not super tactical, but like more tactical than you would think for the type of game it is. So like when you fire, if you're close enough to an enemy, you pop up in their minimap. So there's like a genuine tactical layer of, this looks like a juicy target, there's probably people nearby, maybe I'll just like not shoot and let them, you know, show themselves. But then the other thing is, but if you can't run the risk there of, well maybe, what if they're not coming, because then I'm sitting here not getting points, they are getting points, and thus they're gearing up, and you know. So that was a nice wee tactical layer of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which is not what you expect in a battle royale game.
No, definitely not. Normally expect them quite fast paced.
Yeah.
Reloading.
And there's one thing that I've noticed they do in this, which I do really like and appreciate. So in most battle royale games, it's a case of the map's a set size, the cone of death closes in at a set time, all that stuff. If it doesn't fill the game with full 3-man teams, so there's like less players normal, it speeds everything up. So the map starts smaller and the cone closes quicker. So your game you get the same amount of fight every time because the game is actually bothering to account for the fact that it might be full. Which is quite nice. Because I don't know of any other battle royale that does that. Like I'm pretty sure if you go to a round of PUBG, even if there's only like 5 people in that fucking server, it still gives you the map as if there's 20 people.
Yep.
So I think that's a nice wee touch as well. My guess would be it's probably to account for things like disconnects and stuff, like people who just like end half the game because they've just decided midway through the load, oh, I'll go my plan. It's a nice big quality of life thing. Okay, let's go there. That one's probably already been hit, but we give it a go.
A new team is in the lead.
Let's move here.
And I also appreciate the fact that whilst yes, you don't get a red, like so it gives you a red indicator to let you know if you're in optimum range for that gun. But you can still get bonus damage from a headshot, no matter what the range, and you can still snipe people from basically as far as you can hit them from. Like you can hit them from like way outside the indicated reach. I'll still fuck them up if you can get headshots on the cunts.
Shield upgraded. Wanna go this way?
It's another nice wee touch.
Working on a new weapon.
Like, it does seem to be very well put together game so far.
It's in beta or early access?
Early access. And so far, any of the pay money shit
Storm is closing in on you.
seems to have been reserved to just cosmetic shit.
Who's more effective? Checking your mark for
I will say, you start with like an option of 3 or 4 garters. It is a bit of a grind to get another one unlocked, and by looks of the rewards, you only get enough of the like premium currency to unlock one other champ, like one other explorer, as they're called. But 1's a free cable game, 2 it's high quality as best I can tell, and 3, in the ease of the internet, you can always just look up the internet and see which one suits you the best, you know?
Yeah.
You better be downloading this.
Oh, I've got to get Steam installed first, mate. It's literally a fresh install. The first thing I did is install Tarkov.
Let's grab it to Epic. Although Steam will work as well, because as best I can tell.
As I can.
Because well, it doesn't matter, because as best I can tell, this thing is full of crossplay. Because I'm playing with people on PlayStation and everything. And they seem to have done crossplay as if it is like a piss easy thing to do, because it actually works. Almost like big companies that fail to do crossplay are fucking morons.
It'll be because the game's built in a framework like Unity, which means that the crossplay was built by someone else and they just implement it. Whereas the bigger like Class A games, they tend to not use these frameworks.
Sure, if you ever heard of Earth 2?
Yes.
Yeah, that's basically what they have done. They're selling features as updates as like this like big thing, but actually all it is in hitting tick boxes and fucking map box.
Yeah, I know what it is.
And they're like, oh, it's this big update. It's like, no, you just switch shit on. See with that Dreamworld crowd? They're basically just turning stuff on that's already built into the assets they've bought. It's kind of mental. And people are still giving them money, as best I can tell. So. All you gotta do to be successful, as it turns out, going by what I'm seeing these days, is just be a massive scam artist. Seems to work for everyone else. Followers, primes, and viewers on. Is that someone? I can't tell if I trying to sell me. Fuck, I don't know.
Crafting an item.
Well, if you got your laptop open, you might see some fighting soon. So.
Alright.
Because we're far enough into the match now that shit's being cleared, which means there's a fairly good chance we will start running into other teams soon.
Turret's toasted.
No sign of anyone yet.
Looks cool.
Well, but and this thing about this thing
Borderlands-esque.
this is about the shot distance, by the way, right? See, like over there, you can still hit over there, like the whole way over there. You can hit a cunt.
Yeah.
You need to be a good shot because, you know, bullet drop, which this game probably has a quite exaggerated bullet drop. But I like when games have that because I feel like it's not super realistic having big bullet drop, but it adds an extra challenge, an extra skill element to being a sniper, which I kind of like. You know, I get it's a bit stupid, but game's a game. You know?
Might be the best.
Oh. Is that enemy? No, it's not enemy team, that's our guy popping off with his ultimate. Why do you put your ultimate on, you dumbass? Fuck you.
That was the worst install I've ever seen.
But yeah, so basically like you have stamina, heat, your heat bar gets too low, you'll start freezing and losing health. You use your shields. You craft. So this is a wee thing actually in this that I actually really like. So you unlock shit and research like shit, and you set up this craft menu. Your shield is by default. Just as you level up, you can craft it with the scrap you find in the world thing. But then you have other shit you can craft, which you can unlock and customize. I'll show you what I mean off this round. It's easier to show and explain.
Yeah. Okay.
But basically what it means is like, so this guy, it's a grind to get like his top end signature weapon. Like every explorer has like a signature weapon.
Yeah.
But you also unlock, research wildcard weapons, which is basically a secondary, which means you can literally just use scrap to guarantee that you get the guns and the grenades and shit that you actually want to use, rather than having to rely on the RNG of finding loot around the map.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is a nice wee touch, because I know, like, that's, I don't ever played PUBG or anything, but I know that's something that's not in PUBG, and it would frustrate the hell out of me.
I quite like the matches are self-contained in PUBG.
Like, I get why they do it, so it's like a bit of RNG and how to use the RNG the best, put everything like on a technically even playing field, but I do like being able to customize what I'm bringing in and shit like that. And there does seem to be a decent damage bonus to headshot as well, which I really like. Because a lot of games do not give, I feel like they don't give enough of bonus damage to it. So they don't. Some games do, but I find most games just don't give a level of bonus for managing that headshot that I think is fitting for the skill required. Especially in a fast-paced game like this, I feel like, you know, in a fast-paced game, you should definitely reward people for being able to crack the head. You know, because it's not super easy in Tarkov, but it's noticeably easier than, like, fucking Apex Legends or something where everyone's moving at, like, 20 million mile an hour, you know? Whee! Fly, my pretty, fly! Yeah. Yeah, it's health. I don't need health right now. You're unlocking that. Any red dots popping up in the minimap yet? Not as of yet. Stop playing with the teddy bear. Oh, right. Purple sniper being made. Lovely jubbly.
Now have more crafting options available.
Where's that guy going? Okay, I should probably make myself some grenades after I make this sniper.
Items ready.
Oh.
For a change. Done. Now that's upgraded gear.
I wait, bitch. That was a terrible shot. This guy's taking more of a pounding because he's like an elite, which is why you're seeing the damage is lower anyway, because it's not up in range, but you notice it on the big guys because they have like armor on them and shit.
Yeah.
Players don't, so a headshot in the player is super fucking effective every time without fail. It's just these are elite guys, which means they take a lot more punishment. Oh. Ah, fuck off, Bert. What I ever did you, bitch? Ah! Oh god. That actually hurt quite a bit. Yeah, the wildlife's pretty damn effective at ripping you a new one in this as well, which is nice.
Okay, upgraded shield.
Whee. And then you pick up resources and stuff, which you use to research in your thing. I'll show you that menu once I'm dead or victorious. I'm surprised we haven't run into an enemy team yet, though. Really surprised? I thought we were run the one quick. Okay, was the supply thing dropped? It has. Lovely job it. Let's pop some scrap in there to get that bad boy unlocked. Back off, dude. Is that players attacking him, or is that just him getting fucking owned by a... The hell are you getting hit by? Oh. Yeah, that's one thing about the shield though. Your allies can't shoot through it either, which is annoying. But I also kind of appreciate, because I always did think that was kind of stupid in games. Like someone has like a shield to put up, and your allies can shoot through it, but enemies can't. It's like, but why?
Energy weapons.
It just never really sat right with me. Okay, give me a shotgun on this, and I got my sniper for the thing. Probably could do with making some nades. Okay, guys. We really need to find some enemies though, because we are 200 points behind
High value target eliminated.
in the victory points count.
Explorers, I've marked some very high value objectives for
Which,
you.
granted, if we just kill one enemy team, we'll get that back, no problem, but... Also, holstering your gun makes you run a bit faster. Another little nice touch. Just, no, move your ass, dude.
High value target eliminated.
You can actually feel our odds of success increasing.
Oh, shit. I'm dead. That is an enemy vehicle, and they aren't trying to kill me. The hell? Why aren't they trying to kill me? I'm confused.
Oh, delicious.
I'm genuinely confused right now.
Get out of here, cold.
Why aren't they trying to kill me?
You can take that as a learning experience.
They drove right past me. There's no way in hell they didn't see me.
They might have gone for the players that were following you.
Unless they're going for the upload.
High value objective activated.
Oh. Ah, someone over there. Let's do on that. We have about 70 seconds to get there.
Destination.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. About 70 seconds. Probably won't get there in time to stop them, but we get close enough to fuck them. Maybe. Come on, come on, come on. Just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. There they are. See what I mean? Even from this distance, I can still hit the cunts. They're backed off a bit. That is an enemy team. Going in for them. There's two teams over this way, guys. Come on, move. Yeah, that's two teams. An enemy team had the same idea we did. They seen that thing activate and they're going for it. Fuck. Can't I hit a fucking barn door right now?
High
Fuck
value
it. I get closer, I'm not getting enough.
and dusted. That's an idiom.
And that guy's freezing to death. Oh shit. That is a player. That is players. That is fucking players. Damn it.
Grenade out. Seems the situation calls for stun.
Back off, dude. They're pushing us. Where are they?
Vote for this way.
There's one, but I can't get a clean shot. I think I hit the fucking NPC there, not the player. Damn it! They have a sniper.
Healing field out, folks.
They have a sniper. Summer. Shit. Fuck, they put their shield down. I can't fucking get it. Damn it. Whee. I need to drop you. Make you.
Flare deployment noted.
Come on.
Send in an evac craft.
Oh, I might freeze death before I get this done.
High value target eliminated.
Absolutely worth the risk. Reload.
I suspect they're still chasing me.
Flare acknowledged.
Not too worried about these guys chasing me. Fuck. Okay, do that. And then heal myself a bit.
Healing for a moment.
Thank you. Okay, I need to wrap around. Fuck.
But there is still time for you to win if you can deliver the most data points.
Yeah, I cannot deliver them with data points.
Evac site is now marked on your map.
Let's just go and try to cut them off at the evac site, I guess. Go there, see if we can get the third guy up. Might as well try to get the third guy up. We're not gonna win in points anyway, so it's just a case of trying to get as much firepower in the fuckers as we can, you know? It's our only option. Stay backed off, dude. I'm gonna try to res this dude.
Guessing you're using voice comms.
Yeah, push the talk. Okay. Come on, 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 come on.
Establishing data uplink.
Yeah.
Stay near while your
Come on.
completes the transfer.
They're coming in. Shit. They will have seen that activate. Fuck, 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 fuck. Got a hit in. Come on, come on. Peek me, asshole.
Data successfully
Right.
transferred.
Fuck. Time to back off.
The first team has reached the dropship.
Okay, guys. We need to go and take this shit. Are they both in there already? Okay, they're both in there. Come on, fucker. Ah, shit. Down here, guys, cover me. Fucking hell. Oh, someone come res my ass once I get in the cover. No. No, just gonna stay up there and let me die? Useless bastards!
Let you bleed out and escape.
They're just fucking sitting there. Not doing anything. Look at them! Look at these fucking idiots! There is at least 2 teams fighting down there and they're just hiding up there. Ah! What, do they think the enemy team doesn't know? The enemy teams don't know they're fucking there. The enemy teams absolutely know they're there.
Yeah, they're just trying to hold out for as long as possible.
Aye,
Wait
but
till,
that's we can't win because. Oh, what the fuck is he doing now?
Oh, we missed. Which one are you watching? I'm watching green.
Yeah, green guy.
Yeah, oh, he's about to get pummeled.
Yep.
Yeah. Use a grenade. No, there we go.
Fucking idiot. It's his own fault because he done the stupid thing. He should have been just fucking poking them on their way up rather than but yeah, so this is the one of the quality life things I was saying about. So you research wildcard weapons, and obviously the more you so you've got like the 5 tiers to work through. You research wildcard weapons, and there's machine guns, shotguns, pistols, the whole fucking, you know. And then each guy has a signature weapon. This dude's is a sniper. So that gives you a load of fucking freedom. And then different types of grenades you can research, so that you can set it up so when you go in, you make certain types of grenades, different perks to choose from, different stuff to craft. Again, it's all grinds to like unlock this shit, but you know, again, free play game. So yeah, you basically can make your whole kit, and you can use scrap that you find while it's just playing to like make all this shit.
Yeah.
So it's a nice wee. I think it's a nice wee touch. Nice wee. You know. Alright, get your ass downloaded and let's try that again. Once that's loading, I'm watching
Stupid
Darwin
trend that
Awards.
Literally was just videos of guys
Brandon
taking a
Herrera.
loaded firearm,
entire
pointing it at their dick
reserve map
and
in 18
almost
seconds.
pulling the trigger. As a dude, if you can watch that and not cringe, there's something fucking wrong with you. Now, it goes without saying, this is violating at least 3 of the main rules of gun safety. And to you Europeans, no, this is not what Americans are like with firearms. Trust me, this is a fringe group of guys, and we think they're idiots too. It's kind of funny in like a fucked up, edgy way, but as the whole, internet challenge trend thing goes, this is arguably probably the most dangerous, right next to the milk crate challenge. It got wildly out of hand to the point where Vice was writing articles about it. And if you think this is just kind of one of those, maybe there's a couple of instances of this and then the media just blew it up out of proportion, you'd be absolutely incorrect. There is a shocking amount of these videos.
I'm not going there to die. I'm going to find out if I'm really alive.
Dummy round? God. Hopefully. Also, I'm just now noticing that was a Cowboy Bebop reference.
I can't believe that was ever a meme. Point a loaded gun at your balls and squeeze the trigger, but not pull the trigger. Yeah, apparently it's a meme that's going around a while ago.
That's a dumbass thing to do.
It really is. As I'm watching in the background, it's all loading. Brandon Herrera, he does like a YouTube channel. And he does a thing like Darwin Awards. And it's basically different videos of people. Yeah. And apparently, for a while, that was a thing. Cause, like, why wouldn't you? That's another cool thing, actually. Every time you go in, every round, they like put mutators in, so no round's quite the same. It's another really nice touch. So, like, this one's high-end weapons. Basically, every weapon I loot will be like a high-end one. Well, okay, maybe not every weapon I loot, but a good chunk of them. At least that's what the thing seems like it's saying. Oh. Okay,
I just came across 2 PMCs about just lying in the grass.
As you do.
Storm is circulating this region. Keep an eye on that one.
That doesn't sound like downloading. Better be downloading.
No, I'm downloading Halo at the moment.
Terrible. I need a squad, bitch. I don't like playing with
I need
noobs.
more data on the Scourge. Visit the sites I've noted on your map.
You
Ooh.
may
Any
be talking to
information
the
you
wrong
find.
person then.
No, not the right person. I just need bait. Is this actually a chainsaw gun?
No, that's what I'm good at.
This is a chainsaw fucking pole arm. I like it.
My scans of this area suggest a significant amount of high-end
Very
weaponry
Dead
from
Rising.
before the fall.
Yeah.
I'd grab some of that if I were you.
Die, bitch. Ooh. Purple gun. That'll do the job. Yeah, people are gonna die quick in this one, because as best I can tell, everyone's getting high-end guns real damn early. Which means the camps are not gonna last very long. Oh. There you go, bitch. So I'm going out the old chainsaw. As you do. Oh. Come on, hit the fucker. There we go. Oh.
I believe you've earned some new
Got you, bitch. There you go. Whee! Okay, that one's done. So now let's move on to. Let's just go straight to the middle of the map because that's where everyone's going to end up, anyways.
Gear has been upgraded.
At least I assume that's where everyone's going to end up.
Upgraded shield ready to roll. Gotta craft an item.
So that's how these fights usually end up going. That was focused on the one little part of the map. Oh. 4 days to wipe. Is he fighting NPCs? Yeah, he is. Okay. Yeah, I got scrap for that, yeah. No, I got no scrap for it.
It will take me a second to craft this.
Whee!
Whoever or whatever invented being cold should be destroyed. Time to get the gear and upgrade.
The storm is closing in on you. Stay in the eye. Check your map. I've highlighted additional sites to be explored.
Yeah, let's go hit this one en route.
Come at me.
Dying bitch.
I just remembered that I have a steak to cook, so I'll be back in a little bit.
Alright.
See you set.
See you.
Healing for a moment.
Oh. Don't think that's an enemy. You dirty cunt. Enemy in base with us. Bottom left. Dog shushed. Polly, shut up. Polly, shut up. Ah. Blow you, Perlex.
I'll have this item crafted in a moment.
Polly, shut up. There was an enemy below you, dude. I don't know where the fuck he's went.
Here we are.
Sniper rifle, marking it down. Now that's a shield. It's not that cold. No. I know where to go. Hang on, I'm crafting.
Not yet. In a minute. I'm finishing this match and then I will. No, no. Shush, shush. You're not gonna starve, fucker. No. Stop it.
All done.
Healing my wounds. success increasing. Crafting. That was worth it.
Shit. Come on.
If you check your map, you'll see my scans have revealed the location of new, high-value objectives. I would like teammate down.
Shit.
Teammate killed. Don't fret, Mordecai. I will constitute your peace momentarily.
Shit.
Death is a stark reality here, but I have the means to remake your peace. Stand by. Keep an eye out. I've detached an orbital supply capsule, sending it down your way.
Come on.
Your teammate needs help. Your teammate has been killed.
Fuck you.
I will send you another shortly. Take care of this one. Teammate down.
God damn it. Fuck.
Right.
Fuck yeah. Not sure.
Reference with the fucking Jericho.
Joel Osteen. Now, I've talked about him on my main channel before, but there's some new information about this guy that recently came out. I'll give you a spoiler. A plumber in his church discovered hundreds of thousands of dollars hidden in the walls. This rabbit hole goes deep. So let's start out by talking about who Joel Osteen is. The guy is basically a televangelist and a self-help guru, maybe? He is kind of a law of attraction kind of person. If you're unfamiliar, the law of attraction is the idea that if you put positivity out into the world, or if you believe hard enough that you're going to have something, then you'll have it. You will get what you want. It's kind of a spiritual level kind of thing. I'll tell you what, why don't we just watch an interview by him so I can introduce you to him. This is from 2011. It's an interview with Piers Morgan. So let's give this a listen and see what old Joel Osteen has to say for himself.
One of the moral mazes for any preacher, I think, a Christian preacher in particular, is homosexuality. And there's been lots of coverage in the news recently, the Don't Ask, Don't Tell campaign, obviously. What is your view? Because it seems to have changed depending on the interview that I've read or seen. What is your view? Is homosexuality...
This is Joel Osteen on the right, by the way, and that's his wife on the left. The guy talking right now is Piers Morgan.
Is homosexuality a sin in your eyes?
Yes, I've always believed, Piers, the scripture shows that it's a sin.
No, not necessarily. There are basically 6 verses in the Bible total that talk about homosexuality at all, most of which are in the Old Testament. Some of which are in the New Testament, but for every single scripture, there is an argument that it wasn't really exactly talking about homosexuality, certainly not the way that we know it today. In contrast to that fact, there are endless numbers of scriptures that talk about loving your neighbor as yourself and not judging others lest you be judged yourself. Lots of stuff about that. Lots of stuff about leaving people alone, letting them live their lives, and letting them, have their own relationship with God, basically. It's just strange that televangelists and preachers more generally like to zero in on this one thing that was mentioned a total of 6 times out of, how many verses are there in the Bible? 15,000? Out of a total of 31,102 verses in the Bible. So, out of 31,000 verses in the Bible, it was mentioned in 6 of them. And there's debate about whether or not those 6 verses are even talking about the same thing that we're talking about today. But I don't even want to get into it right now. I just want to point out the Bible is a pretext to assert moral beliefs that you already hold. The Bible doesn't make any moral declarations that it doesn't reverse a chapter later. So when you say something about your moral beliefs coming from the Bible, like I hate homosexuality or something like that, you're basically telling me who you are as a person. Nothing about the Bible, because you can justify loving your neighbor as yourself and not judging others from the Bible just as easily as you can justify hating homosexuality. Just as easy. Let's keep listening to Joel Osteen talk about this.
I've always believed, Piers, the scripture shows that it's a sin. But, I'm not one of those that are out there to bash homosexuals and tell them that they're terrible people and all that. I mean, there are other sins in the Bible, too.
Okay, so I just want to point out what he's saying here. That's nice. That's better than what some other preachers do, right? Like Kenneth Copeland, for example. He doesn't give a shit. He's more than happy to tell them that they're terrible people. But this guy says he's not going to tell them that they're terrible people, though he does believe that. So at least he's not saying it to their face, right? I mean, does that count in his favor? I don't know. You be the judge.
Sins in the Bible, too. I think sometimes the church, and I don't mean this critically, but we focus on one issue or 2 issues, and there's plenty of other ones. So I don't believe his homosexuality is God's best for a person's life. I mean, sin means to miss the mark. But I don't believe being prideful or being through Christ.
When you see civil partnerships being sanctioned, you think that's wrong? Presumably.
Yeah, I think it's wrong, but I'm not going to bash those people. I'm not going to be against those people. They're good people. I say it's wrong because that's what the scripture says.
No. The scripture doesn't really go down that path, not in the way that hate preachers like to make it look. The Bible can just as easily justify leaving people alone, loving your neighbor as yourself, and not judging others lest you be judged. You can justify that just as easily as hating homosexuals, quote unquote. But either way, this guy is obviously falling in line with traditional preachers, traditional televangelist fire and brimstone types. Even though he has a different approach, even though he's more kind of love and peace and happiness and law of attraction kind of thing, he still kind of lines up with the others on those hard fire and brimstone issues. So don't let him fool you. He's essentially the same in a prettier package. So here's another clip from him, same interview. Give this one a listen.
I mean, you make vast sums of money. I'm right in thinking, I think the church takes in $80 million a year, but all of that gets plowed back into the church.
Yeah, dude is filthy rich. Filthy rich. He has this mega church, of course, as I mentioned. He's on TV every day and everything else, and he makes just obscene amounts of money. What does the Bible say about something about a rich man getting into heaven, camel, eye of the needle, something? It's in there. Someone finish that for me. But, you know, I hate gay people. That's really the thing that we should be focused on. In his defense, he said we shouldn't be focused on that and that alone. The fact that the dude is rich, it seems to me like equally as big of a sin as he views homosexuality as being. Let's keep listening.
Takes in $80 million a year, but all of that gets plowed back into the church. Is that right?
That's correct.
But on the books which sell by the squillion, you keep all the cash.
Well, we give. We're big givers, I'll promise you that. But
takers as well? See some of it?
We do.
Would you have any problem?
Sorry, when you have to pay the light bill.
Exactly, yeah. But I mean, you're like multi-millionaires.
We don't have any problem. I don't think God has any problem with you being blessed. It's where your heart is. Our heart was never just to go out and make money and let's...
That's interesting. This dude is making a justification for something the Bible pretty much condemns, right? Jesus even condemned it. It's easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven. Jesus specifically condemns that. But he doesn't say a fucking word about being gay. Not one word. But this guy is sitting here justifying being rich and saying homosexuality is a sin. How about that shit? Isn't that interesting? When it affects them, suddenly they give a shit and they find some way to justify it to themselves and their audience. When it doesn't affect them, they don't care. Isn't that interesting? So that's who Joel Osteen is. Now, a couple of years ago, I think in 2019 maybe, Kanye West, of all people, showed up to Joel Osteen's mega church, televised of course, to give a message. Now, those videos have been taken down and copyright stricken and all that other shit. And I have copies of the videos on my computer, but I really don't want to play them because of copyrights, you know, with Kanye and all that other stuff. So I figured I would read through this Friendly Atheist article written by Hemant Mehta just to get an idea of what Kanye said. Like, these are direct quotes from the videos. So this is what Kanye had to say. This is Hemant Mehta speaking. Kanye says God is now speaking through him, so audience members need to shut the hell up. Now this is Kanye. Quote, I go into these streams of consciousness when I'm talking, and when you're speaking in the middle of it, it distracts me. I really appreciate the support, but I would like for everybody to be completely silent so I can let God flow through me as I speak to you guys today. This is Hemant Mehta again. Kanye, unaware of what the word traffic means, says strip clubs are involved in trafficking because owners want to know how much traffic they have each day. This is Kanye. Quote, when I'm in California or when I'm in Las Vegas, they got posters up advertising, you know, trafficking. Because if there's an advertisement for that's advertising sex trafficking. Because at the end of the night, when they close up, the manager says, how much traffic do we have? I think that's something called, is that an example of equivocation? I believe it is. Yeah, equivocation is the use of ambiguous language to conceal the truth or to avoid committing oneself. Yeah, I guess I could call this an example of equivocation. Kanye is taking a word and applying a different meaning to it and using that that is not
really good.
Traffic. You get a lot of traffic at a Burger King drive-thru too, but you're not trafficking like that. This is Meta again. Kanye, in desperate need of a dictionary, thinks alcohol is of the devil because it's called a spirit. This is Kanye. Quote, we all end up participating in the devil's playground, whether it's the spirits that get advertised to us all the time. Alcohol is, they call it a spirit, so we get constant advertisement for spirits. Once again, good example of equivocation. Kanye probably thinks this is really clever. This is another quote from Kanye. All of that arrogance and confidence and cockiness that y'all see me use before, God is now using. Here's another quote from Kanye. It's like the devil stole all the good producers, the devil stole all the good musicians, all the good artists, all the good designers, all the good business people, and said, you gotta come over here and work for me. And now the trend, the shift, is gonna change. Jesus has won the victory, because now, I told you about my arrogance and cockiness already, now the greatest artist that God has ever created.
Fuck.
Yeah, Kanye turned to basically a Christian rap artist. He released a Christian album after that. The reason that he went to Joel Osteen's church, I guess, is because Kanye, ostensibly, has been watching televangelists all day, every day. He just sits down in front of the TV and watches them preach about Jesus. And I'm assuming one of them was Joel Osteen, because he went to Osteen's church to reveal his new rap album. Obviously, Osteen signed off on this stuff, or Kanye wouldn't have been allowed to go in the first place, right? Osteen ostensibly stands behind Kanye and the things that he said on Osteen's church. That's a pretty big fucking deal. I mean, some of the shit Kanye said was real fucked up, too. So anyways, that's who Joel Osteen is. There was a news story a few years ago that's relevant to the next subject I wanted to touch on. This article was written in 2014, March 11th, 2014. This is on theatlantic.com. The title is, Someone Stole $600,000 in Donations from Joel Osteen's megachurch. Lakewood Church, the Houston headquarters of celebrity pastor Joel Osteen's evangelical empire, alerted its congregants that as much as $600,000 in cash and checks were taken from the building over the weekend. According to an email from Lakewood, the theft is limited only to those funds contributed in the church services on Saturday, March 8th and Sunday, March 9th, 2014. Holy shit, $600,000 in 2 fucking days? My God, that church makes so much money. Holy Christ. How much money is that? Is on Saturday and Sunday. I'm assuming they only hold church services on the weekends, right? My God, dude, that's 600,000 times 52. It's like $31 million a year in donations. Holy mother. That is an ungodly amount of money, if you will. Jesus Christ. And it doesn't include donations made electronically, either. My God, they make so much fucking money. A church employee discovered the theft on Monday morning. Pastors Joel and Victoria Osteen are well-known proponents of a modern version of the prosperity gospel, a theology that believes God blesses people with material success. Among evangelicals, it's a theologically controversial yet obviously appealing approach to Christianity. In the past, Osteen has defended his embrace of prosperity teachings by saying, I believe that God's dream is that we be successful in our careers and that we be able to send our kids to college. I don't mean that everyone is going to be rich, and I preach a lot on blooming where you're planted, but I don't have the mindset that money is a bad thing. Yeah, prosperity gospel goes a little bit beyond, you know, God blesses those who he loves or whatever. And it kind of goes into, if you plant a seed, if you donate, then God will bless you. That's one of the big controversies of prosperity gospel. Pastors tell their congregants that if they donate $1,000 every month, God will return it to them tenfold. It's their seed. That's what they say. That's a really scummy thing to do, honestly. And Joel Osteen is a proponent of it. I have a problem with that. Anyway, let's keep reading. Their church attracts about 38,000
There's a blue assault rifle back there for any if you want it.
Quite a bit more people watching Osteen's sermons on television. His TV presence, along with his series of popular Christian self-help books, are what helped to make Lakewood arguably the most famous megachurch in the country. Holy mother of God.
My
That
scans
is
of this
a lot
area
of people.
suggest a significant amount
38,000
of
people?
high-end
Jesus
weaponry
fucking
from
Christ,
before the
dude.
fall.
That was the
I'd
in-person
grab some
donations
of
that
that
went
if I were
missing.
you.
600 grand. So you can assume each attendee that was physically there donated about $15 per person, roughly. And that would get you to about 600,000. Jesus, dude. I've never seen that much money in my life, and I probably never will. Police are investigating the alleged theft and haven't yet arrested anyone. Church members who passed on their credit card information to Lakewood over the weekend were advised to pay close attention to your accounts over the next several days and weeks and report any suspicious activity to your financial institution or credit card company immediately. Okay, so that's the story, right? This is 2014 when all this went down. There's been an update. This video came out just the other day. Give this a listen. This is on a news network in Houston where he's based.
To new details about a sizable theft at Lakewood. You may remember hundreds of thousands of dollars were stolen from a safe at the megachurch.
That was a big headline back in 2014, and now, all these years later, another bombshell. A plumber says that he found the money in a wall while he was doing work at the church.
Holy shit. They found, a plumber found the money in the wall of the church. $600,000. What the fuck is it doing? I'm wondering if Osteen got reimbursed for the money that was stolen through insurance. I had heard that that was the case. I don't know that to be true. If that was the case, I feel like we may have a motive and a means and an opportunity to apply to Mr. Joel Osteen here for taking the money and cramming it in the wall of his church. I don't know. Who fucking knows? Who knows? I find it absolutely fascinating, though, that somebody made off with $600,000 from their safe, something that only 1 or 2 people should have access to, right? I mean, at the absolute most, maybe 10 people have access to their church. Maybe. Let's be generous and say 10. Fuck it, 20. Let's say 20 people, right? Investigate all 20 of those people. Figure out exactly what they were doing at any given moment, who was at the church at the time, and all that other
You looking
stuff,
out?
and you'll find your answer. Not
Okay,
all
Dougal.
38,000 attendees had keys to the safe. Only
Go
a
on,
few
come.
people had keys to it, and only a few people were there in the moment, even capable of taking it. This should be an open and shut case, right? Easy to figure out. Should be. So, who took the money? Why would somebody have taken the money, 600
no.
grand, and just left it in the fucking wall
Need to take
of
the
the
bread
church?
out.
This is not adding up.
Chips are gonna take a bit
Revelation
longer.
came to light during a morning radio show.
Chris, it happened live on 100.3 The Bull. The radio show was simply asking people, have they ever found anything of value? But they never expected to hear from a man who says he discovered hundreds of envelopes full of checks and cash at Houston's Lakewood Church.
There was a loose toilet, and we removed the tile. Well, they removed the tile. Went to go remove the toilet, and I moved some insulation away, and about 500 envelopes fell out of the wall.
How long ago was it, I wonder? Because it's kind of being framed here like the guy was telling an old story of some crazy thing that happened to him. It doesn't necessarily imply that this just happened, right?
Envelopes full of cash and checks.
I went ahead and contacted the maintenance supervisor that was there, and I went ahead and turned it all in.
Wow, dude. Wow. That is fucking batty. Holy hell.
Oh, die,
What is
you
going
fucking.
on in
There we
this
go.
church? Okay, so that brings us to our latest article, written by Hemant Mehta on the Friendly Atheist website. Title is A Plumber Found Envelopes Full of Cash in the Walls of Joel Osteen's Megachurch. In 2014, at Joel Osteen's Lakewood Church in Texas, someone broke into a safe and stole roughly $600,000 in cash, checks, and envelopes containing credit card information. Yeah, the credit card information and the checks are probably useless because it would be traced back to the thief instantly. You can't cash those checks. I mean, what bank are you going to
Alright, where's the enemies?
It's not going to happen. The cash, though, that would be useful for a thief. Credit card information, again, would be useless because it'd be a quick way to get caught. And apparently none of that information was used. Let's keep reading. That money represented
Okay,
one
where
weekend's worth of
is
income.
the enemy?
Jesus Christ. The church had insurance for this sort of thing, believe it or not, so they didn't miss out on the donation. How about that shit? There's your answer. The church had insurance, so they got all of the money back from insurance. But it remained an open question as to who took the money. No one was ever arrested in conjunction with the theft. There hasn't been an update in this case. Last month, apparently, a plumber was called to deal with a loose toilet in the church. After he removed the toilet and everything behind it, he made a startling discovery.
Yeah, I cannot
as
copy
he
that.
explained to 100.3 The Bull morning radio host George Lindsay. Those 500 envelopes contained lots and lots of cash. How much? We're not told. If it's not the full 600,000, the remainder of the money is still missing. But law enforcement was called in to continue the investigation, and the church confirmed the discovery. Incidentally, when the money was stolen, there was a $25,000 reward for anyone with information that could lead to the arrest of a suspect. The unnamed plumber wouldn't be eligible for that reward anyway, since no one's been arrested. But Crime Stoppers of Houston said the window for tips is closed and no one will.
Enemy over there, dude. Careful. I
Oh,
just seen him pop up in the thing.
Why would they close the window? You have
Blow,
to
blow.
wonder why someone would have gone through all the trouble to steal that much money, only to dump a large chunk of it in the church. Was it a church member? A staffer? Does Joel Osteen just keep his spare cash in Lakewood's walls like other people do in their mattresses? What if that cash isn't the money that was stolen in 2014? I won't answer.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that's a good point. First of all,
Ah!
I just gotta point out, like, this story is coming from just some radio caller, so it's kind of unverified. We don't know that. We don't know all this for a fact, for sure. It's just really on the nose. 600 grand goes missing, and then this guy calls in and says he discovered 600 grand like 7 years after the fact, after the insurance had already paid out and everything. I don't know. This whole story is just suspicious and fucking weird, and I would absolutely love to have some answers for this. My God, what a fucking cliffhanger. Well, I don't know. Maybe in a couple years we'll get more answers. Sadly, I have to say I doubt it, but it's an interesting story either way.
Yeah,
I have crafted an item.
this is where we must go. 1 second while I craft this item.
High value target eliminated.
Here we are. Out of here, Gold.
Oh.
You would do well to go this way.
are new high-value objectives on your map. I put them there. Keep an eye out. I've detached an orbital supply capsule, sending it down your way.
Outlanders taken care of.
Fuck you. Fucking.
Reloading.
Team has been eliminated.
Whee!
Outlander down. Crafting gear. One moment.
Was that supposed to hurt?
Team has been eliminated.
Crafting.
I am reloading. Camouflage active.
Items complete.
Was that supposed to hurt?
Teammate down. Your teammate has been killed. Don't fret, my child. I will reconstitute your teammate momentarily. Teammate down.
Actually feel our odds of success increasing.
Oh, uh-huh.
Very high value objectives added to your map.
Fuck.
Very.
Enemies on me.
High value objective activated. Your teammate needs help. Teammate killed. Teammate eliminated.
That come up here, are they? Nah, fuck. Oh well.
Here. I do not see a better destination.
High value objective done
No problem.
and
Hold-
dusted.
Alright, I'm fucking for me.
That's an idiom.
Start coming towards me, Joe. Enemies in my arse.
High value target eliminated.
Thank
Took out some weapon. Reloading now. Absolutely worth the risk.
Oh, top.
Team eliminated at uplink.
Hi. Oh.
It will take me a second to craft this.
Heading there.
Here we are. I'll have this item crafted in a moment. Items ready. Can never get too warm.
I am reloading.
Alright. What the hell? Oh, no. Behind you, dude.
upset.